So, of course, I have a Doctor Who question. And my question is, when you were on the first episode, the Doctor Dances, I believe it was?
Yes.
Was it?
Well, actually, it wasn't the Doctor Dances. It was Empty Child.
Oh, the Empty Child. Sorry.
Doctor Dances was the second episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
See, I do watch myself.
It was a test. So, were you...
I'm just going to dance for you interpretively while you do that. Do you all like that I have on my TARDIS underwear?
Okay, so when you first...
Speak, my child!
So when you were first on the show, was it the original plan for you to be a recurring character? Or was that
I was
something that
hired
developed?
I was hired the same time that Billy Piper and Christopher Eccleston were hired, in the very beginning.
Okay.
And they told me that I would not be coming on till episode 9, I think it was, and that would be the Empty Child. And they said then Captain Jack would be a through line and a constant for the Doctor, and for he'd become, they didn't call him the companion at that time, but he basically became another companion who came and went, basically. So yes, I did know, and the day that I found out was that I went for my meeting and my audition with I never thought that as a young boy, when I grew up in Glasgow, Scotland, watching Doctor Who from behind the sofa, scared, crap with the shit scared out of me, that I would be one day ever on the TARDIS when I went to America, right? Because I used to watch it on the PBS channels over here when I was a kid. So to be asked to go into the show, and also for an audition, I was going to make this work. So I went to the audition with Russell T. Davies and Phil Collinson, who was one of our exec producers, and I went in dressed in black leathers, okay? I'm not stupid. So I went in dressed in black leathers, and I had a motorcycle helmet on because I rode my bike there, and I came into the meeting. My hair was a little bit longer, so I walked into the meeting. They said, "You're in next, John." I went, "Okay." And when I walked in the room, they're sitting where you are, right? And I walked in, and it was like slow motion. I went with the helmet, and I went, right? And then I went up to my seat, and I sat down in leather pants like this. Russell and Phil told me later they almost had heart failure. They said, we couldn't believe what walked through the door. They said, we just wanted to make sure. They said they called me in because they wanted me, Russell wanted me to be in Queer as Folk, but then I wasn't available, and he's like, I just still wanted to see that you had matinee idol good looks. I'm like, So I did my meeting. I read Captain Jack as an American, I read him as Scottish, and I read him as a Brit. And then after I was done, I put my helmet back on. I turned around, before I put my helmet on, I said to both of them, this would mean the world to me. I am a huge fan. As a kid, I never thought I would ever be part of the TARDIS team. And if you can take a risk and a chance on me, I promise you I will work hard and I will try to make this character skyrocket. And I went back to the West End to do a show that evening, and I got the call immediately when I got out of the car, off my bike, that the execs up at the BBC had received the tape of me, and they said, that's Captain Jack, and the rest is history.
Thank you.
I wanted to first thank you that you were, or Captain Jack Harkness was the first inspiration that I was able to show my disabled brother of someone who was not the norm of what he would see around here.
Okay.
And it really helped him to understand.
We're all the same in here. We're all not norm. We're unique.
Well, you were the first experience that he saw as a gay man.
I get it, yes.
And it really helped to normalize for him so that he did not think of other people who were gay or
So he's not gay.
No.
But
he was
as
a disabled boy.
Yeah.
He didn't really understand the commonalities or the situations that might go around being gay or not what he would normally see in his lifetime.
Okay.
And you helped to normalize it. So I want to ask you, how might you be an inspiration to other people in the world who might want to be like you?
Well, people who, let me just jump back a second. It's great to be put on a little pedestal and looked at like that. However, I don't want people to be like me. I want people to be themselves. That's why I am.
I just mean to
I
just mean to be an inspiration.
No, I get it.
you.
I'm answering your question. But I'm putting it in a point that will be very, very direct. I want people to see me being myself and them to be their selves, because I personally, and this is my soapbox for the moment, I don't give a shit what people think about me, okay? A lesson that you have to learn, and if you can learn it in your 20s, if you can learn it in your teens, if people don't like you, don't give them time of day. Well, no. Be with people that like you, that you like. So my other thing is, and this is going to sound harsh, however, I truly mean it. For those people who are still in the closet and afraid to come out because of what they think other people are going to do with them, you gotta stand up. We gotta stop being so frightened and start being proud and out and fight back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So it's, if you come out and someone wants to take your job away from you, you go see a lawyer, you sue their ass, you make a big thing out of it, because people I say this, and I mean this with all my heart, and I don't care what anybody's political state is, okay? I don't. For anyone in any situation, it can be taken away from us. Rights can be taken away very, very quickly. That's why the more people that are out and proud and are seen out and being themselves, the less likely they are to take it away, because we'll fight back. That's it.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just
And you know what? I'll
fabulous.
fight with you. I'll be right behind you in this dress and these shoes going, yeah, come on, motherfucker.
Wow, I wish you were my father. Okay, well, seeing that my mother is a proud lesbian, and she's been married for multiple years,
Okay.
and I was being bullied because of my mother and her growing up. It was normal for me, but other kids didn't see it that way, so they harassed me, and I pretty much said, fucking deal with it.
Yeah, well.
So there's that. My main question to you is, when do you and your husband plan on adopting?
Well, interesting you say that, because if you're hitting these notes, and I'm so sorry, but then we'll get back to the outrageousness.
Yep.
But the bill that they want to pass at the moment will deny my husband and I the right to adopt children. That's true. It's in the papers. It's in the list of things they want to do, and that's why I say we all have to stand up, because I would love to adopt kids, because my husband and I could offer a home to a family of children that don't have a mom and dad. They could have two fabulous dads who love them, look after them, and provide for them for the rest of their lives.
Amen. I'm with you.
However, I can still have kids. I can still have them. Scott and I have talked about it. The other thing is we have our adopted daughter, Kelsey. It's very funny when we go on planes and we sit down, and Kelsey sits next to me, the flight attendants who don't know me will come up and they'll be like, Mr. Barrowman, what would you and your wife like to drink? And I'm like, oh, honey, no. And Kelsey goes, no. And they're like, you don't want to drink? She's like, no, this is not my husband, Kelsey. This is my gay dad. And in the first class of American Airlines, half of the people who are from Texas, they're like, what? And she's like, yeah, this is my gay dad. And I'm like, yeah, we're a stereotype. 2 gay dads and an Asian daughter, Modern Family. Listen, I do a lot for in Palm Springs, I was part helping to bring a house together where it's up and running. And we provided homes for LGBTQ youth who were thrown out of their homes and from foster homes, because ironically, the most kids that are thrown out of foster homes are from Christian foster homes. They're thrown out of because of being gay, lesbian, or transgender. So we set up a house in Palm Springs and provided for these kids. They get their home, they get their food, they get their rooms, they get educated, and they get money put towards a college education. And if they want, we help them find a job when they come out. So we're starting to work on that stuff.
Well, there's also the fact that growing up in a home with 2 lesbian, wonderful parents that did their best,
Yeah.
I would like to say that I turned out pretty well.
I think
for
you did.
myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here standing in front of you.
Correct, and you're also-
And I have 3 beautiful children at home
Awesome.
and a lovely husband.
Yeah,
So.
awesome. And good for you. And teach your kids to be good people too.
I will.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sweetheart.
Where do you get your amazing dresses?
I'm so glad you asked. Kohl's. I say that in jest, but in Palm Springs, Kohl's, my mother goes to Kohl's all the time, okay? And my mother loves it. And we buy my mom gift cards at Kohl's to go. I'll tell you who makes mine in a second, but this story is quite sweet. And my mother is in the dressing room, and she'll be trying on stuff at Kohl's and da-da-da, and she'll come back, and my mom and dad at 5 o'clock every night, no fail, cocktail hour, okay? And they either come to my house or I go to theirs because my parents live down the street from Scott and I. I got them a house so they could be close. So we're having cocktails, and my mother, she always forgets that she tells me this story, but she tries to reaffirm that she is trying to help in her own way, right? And Kohl's in Palm Springs, she said, I was in the dressing room today, and I was trying on a lovely skirt, and I had this top, and I came out, and I turned, and I looked in the mirror, and I looked at myself, and I went, that looks nice, Marion. And she said, I needed an opinion. And she said, I turned around, and she said, there was this person behind me. That's my mother's code word, right? There was this person behind me, and I said, dear, what do you think of my dress? And the person said, I looked fabulous. And she said, I don't care what that person is. If they're in my dressing room and they tell me I look fabulous, I don't care what they've got between their legs. I'm like, Mom? And she's like, doesn't matter. I love everybody, especially when they look really good.